This is a special presentation of Way 31 Sports.
It's the McCurry Big Game Friday night. Hello, Alabama, find a comfortable spot. We got high school football and it's coming out hot. Now here we are and the lights are shining bright. We've always been. Yeah, Way 31 is rocking all right.
With Nolan, Max, and Xavier.
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
A battle of unbeatens and bitter rivals. A 5-0 Scottsboro team travels to 5-0 Guntersville in our big game Friday night game of the week.
While out at J.P. Cain Stadium, it's a battle for the top spot in 6A Region 7 between Hartselle and Muscle Shoals in our rivalry game of the week.
Hello and welcome into Big Game Friday night, everyone. Thanks for joining us for week 6 of the high school football season. Nolan Knight here with Max Cohan. And Max, we had plenty of important matchups tonight.
Yeah, and you're not exaggerating. The top spot in multiple regions on the line tonight, like at our game of the week where Scottsboro traveled to Guntersville.
Yeah, and for more on that showdown, we'll send things to Xavier Wary, who is on the sidelines.
Nolan and Max, this is a game that features two teams, both named the Wildcats, both undefeated and both looking to take sole possession of first place in their region. These two teams, they've been playing since 1914, but this is arguably the most important game they've played in decades. How would our Big Game Friday night game of the week play out? We take a trip to Sand Mountain for our Big Game Friday night game of the week. We find ourselves at Guntersville High School, and if you look into the eyes of these young men, they are ready for a battle. In the first half, points would be hard to come by. Here you see Antonio Brooks take this pitch and weaving his way for a Scottsboro first down. A few plays later, Jake Jones tries the pitch again, this time to Jaden Gilbert, but the two would not be on the same page, and the fumble would result in Guntersville getting the ball after the turnover by Scottsboro. In the second quarter now, when Guntersville is looking to open things up a bit, Eli Morrison rolls right and fires this one to 6'3" Cameron Logan for this first down. And look, if you want to see some points, look no further. Morrison drops back and launches this one deep to Dadron Waller, the 6'4" sophomore, and the two connect on this 44-yard score to put Guntersville up 7-0. The home team was fired up, and of course, the student section loved every second of it as well. Right before the end of the half, Scottsboro looked to respond, but it's another failed pitch attempt leading to another turnover, and Guntersville will go into the half up in a low-scoring affair, 7-0. And Guntersville would continue to have their way in the second half, never trailing, winning this one 20-6. I'm with head man Lance Reese. Coach, listen, you all not only held them well under their scoring average, but defensively, you all were under your scoring average. Just 6-point surrender. Just talk about what that defense did tonight.
Super proud of the effort our guys made on defense, but like I told them, this really came about because of what we did Monday through Thursday. Felt like we had a good plan, but the players really bought in. There's no doubt, there's no denying what kind of offense Scottsboro had, so to hold them to 6, something to really be proud of.
It was a pretty physical matchup and a lot of chirping out there. Talk about what this game meant to your guys.
Yeah, it was, because it's kind of a rivalry game. Those guys are just right up the road, so and they beat us last year, so that means even more to our guys. So it did get kind of chirpy, but we'll correct that next week. But anytime you give as much effort as we did tonight, it's always great to come away with a win.
And Coach, everything that we talked about is nice, but the most important thing is that you got the victory and you're still undefeated and you take sole possession of first place in the region. Talk about what that means heading into a bye.
You know, that means a lot for us, but like I told the guys, all that did is make this ARAB game that much bigger. And they're a county game, they're a region game, so we're going to enjoy this one. We got a week off, but then we got to get ready for a really good ARAB team.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you moving forward.
Thank you.
And as I just mentioned, Guntersville, they will have a week off before they take on ARAB. They remain undefeated on the season. As far as Scottsboro is concerned, well, of course, they just suffered their first loss of the year. Their next opponent will be Sardis. I'm reporting in Guntersville tonight. Xavier Wary, Way 31 Sports.
Man, what a game. So it's Muscle Shoals that remains it is, of course, Guntersville that remains undefeated for the season. That game might have just decided the region champion.
Yeah, and let's stay in that region. Tonight, Sardis was at home hosting Douglas, hoping to stay in the fight for the playoffs.
Yeah, and the other Class 5A Region 7 matchup of the night, Douglas was on the road at Sardis for a region showdown, and Douglas down early. We're looking to get back into the game. Carson J. Walls back to pass. He fires and connects with Logan Puckett for the big first down for the road team. But Sardis, they were going to make it easy. Douglas firing again. It's a first down at the 1. The Sardis D, they would stop Douglas on third down here. But on 4th and goal, the Eagles finally find Pater. Cooper Butler in for the score, but it's not enough, as in the end, it's the Sardis Lions who snag a win at home tonight, 35-21.
Hey, speaking of Class 5A, Russellville's a team that thinks they have what it takes to make a deep playoff run this year.
Yeah, undefeated in region play entering tonight. It remains that way as they take down Brewer tonight on the road, 56-19. What a game.
And heading into this one, the Senators had only allowed 18 points this season. The Senators on the attack first, capping off a strong opening drive as Josh Ward hits Amari Jabbar, and he'll take a quick trip in for 6. So the Jets looking to respond, but they can't even hang on to the ball. Trouble on the exchange, and this one's on the turf. Jaden Chambers scoops it up for Sparkman. The Senators were held to a field goal on that possession, so the Jets are down 10 when they get tricky with it. Ty Marsh to Devin Cooper, and it's a double pass. Cooper airing it out to a wide open Cam Berry, and they pick the perfect play for a touchdown. And in a nail-biter, the James Clemens Jets fly to the top of the region with a blocked PAT, securing the 31-30 win.
A massive win. Let's stay in Class 7A. Bob Jones and Florence, they currently sit 3rd and 4th in Region 4. Both have playoff aspirations, and tonight the two squared off in Brawley Stadium. It would be the Bob Jones Patriots that would jump out to a lead in this game, 22-7, but Florence would claw their way back. Patriots with the ball, but Xavier Garner steps up, makes a massive stop to the Falcons. Then later, the Falcons hand off to who else but Gardner, getting it done on both sides of the ball. Down the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 11-yard line. That sets up the Falcons score. Quarterback dive for Leo Glover, the recent UNA commit, in for a Florence touchdown, but the score would not be enough. Bob Jones sneaks away with the win in this one, 29-25.
Staying in the area, it's Austin and Grissom, with the Black Bears looking to keep the Tigers winless in region play. This year, Grissom has been outscored 115-110 in region games, and it's more of the same tonight. Down 28-zip just before the half, and Carl Brunson's in trouble. Bad snap, and he's got to throw this one away. Just like that, it's 4th and short. Tigers hand it to Tim Cole Jr., but he can't pick up the yards, and it's a turnover on downs. Now the Black Bears take over with just seconds left on the clock. Judd Bailey back to pass, rolls to his fight, and fires to Gavin Fuqua, who steps out of bounds. The siren sounds anyway, and head coach Jeremy Perkins is not happy they won't get one last shot at the end zone, but it wouldn't matter in the end as Austin dominates 49-7. All right, well, it's already time for us to call our first time out of the night.
Yeah, but don't go anywhere, because coming up next, we head to Hartselle, where two powers square off in our big game Friday night rivalry game of the week.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday night. Go Wildcats! Here we go. You're watching Big Game Friday night. Go Senators!
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
All right, welcome back into Big Game Friday night, everyone. Week 6 has brought some of the best matchups of the year, and that includes, of course, our rivalry game of the week. Muscle Shoals and Hartselle square off with maybe the Class 6A Region 7 title on the line.
Yeah, both squads riding 5-game win streaks into J.P. Cain Stadium, down by a score. Trojans running back Jacques Screen takes the handoff and waltzes in to tie this bad boy up 21-21. Hartselle would respond, and who else but Rye Fletcher pushes through the defense and picks up the big score to set off the lights and regain a 1-score lead. Then again, Muscle Shoals says, we're not done yet. Green says, hey, Rye, I can do this too, as he does the same thing and ties this game up. Then we see a big interception as the Tigers' Marcus Tapscott has the ball go off his fingers and into the hands of Andrew Armstrong, and in double overtime, Muscle Shoals takes it 55-49.
I just keep fighting, we sort of shot ourselves in the foot early and just keep fighting, good things are happening, a lot of character, character comes out when you're down like that, and just real proud of our kids. Man, in the last 2 years, us in Hartselle has been need to bottle and sell those games.
Wow, a massive win for the Trojans as they move to 6-0. Now, 6A Region 8 is wide open with no team truly out of the hunt for the region crown. Tonight, both Buckhorn and Mae Jemison were hoping a win could give them the upper hand in October.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So let's go out to Joe Davis Stadium. Turn it into maybe my favorite atmosphere in the city. And early on, the Bucks were struggling to move the ball. Never a good idea to run to Hezekiah Harris. Gets a big tackle for loss to set up this. It's a 45-yard field goal for Buckhorn's Van Reed. Not every day you see that at the high school level. 45 yards, 3-0 Bucks. Then later in the first, Mae Jemison forced a punt out of their own end zone, and a short punt would be fielded on the run by Jaden Crutcher. The junior has some wheels. He's got a hole. He's got a touchdown. Never mind the horse collar. He's pumped up about this score. Buckhorn, they go on the road tonight. They take home a W at Joe Davis, 34-6 over Mae Jemison. They move to 2-1 in region play. Lee and Fort Payne, they're two teams that think they also have what it takes to maybe claim that 6A Region 8 title. And tonight squared off in an important region showdown. Milton Frank Stadium, the stage for this matchup, and man, was it a good one. We'll pick up Fort Payne leading 7-6 and driving. Kanan Du Bois with a nice run to pick up a first down, but the drive would stall, and following a great punt, they would leave the Generals on their own run as we had maybe the play of the year. Carlin Long in the Wildcat is drugged down, but wait, he rolled over the defender. He was never down, so he's down the sideline. No one near him, making a 99-yard touchdown strike and a 13-7 game. Heads-up play from the running back, but he wasn't done there. Long again, runs through a tackle, bounces it outside, makes another pair miss. He's into the end zone again. Two great runs for Long. In the end, it's Lee that wins the shootout over the Wildcats, 49-42 at Milton Frank.
Hazel Green having a tough go of it this year, 0-5 to start the year with 8 straight losses dating back to last year. Tonight they faced off with the only team with a perfect region record and ended the night with another L. Gadsden City takes it 69-0, while Decatur hosted Columbia and they hand the Eagles their 78th consecutive loss, 42-0 on homecoming. And no team in the state is scoring more points than West Morgan tonight. The Rebels looking to add to it against Deschler, and you don't put up big numbers without some effort. Jalen Fletcher fighting his way across with a little help from his friends for a West Morgan score, and then Deschler would look to respond. Price Thornton hands it to Garrett Reed, and he's got his eyes downfield, floating one up for Cam Fuller, and he's all alone. Number 6 in for 6 as the Tigers claw back, but the Rebels had some tricks of their own. Braxton Peters rolling right and then back left, freeing up Harrison Johnson, who's wide open in the end zone. West Morgan just showing off now as they come a win with the win tonight, 56-35. Central and Rogers not out of the hunt for the playoffs in 2023. Tonight they squared off at Central.
Yeah, great crowd on hand for this matchup, and it turns out they got to see a pretty good game. We pick up Rogers knocking on the door, and they score. Tyser Wood on the QB keeper powers his way in for the touchdown, and their defense looked impressive as well. Central trying to get something going, but check out the gang tackling for the Pirates. Eventually, though, the home team, they would get it to the end zone. Central on the goal line. It's a handoff to Hunter Palmer, who refuses to be denied. He powers in for 6 to get Central Florence on the board, tying things at 7 apiece. In the end, it is Central that gets the win, 42-21. Wrapping up Region 7 tonight, Brooks, they were at home hosting East Lawrence, and they used their home field advantage. They take a win tonight, 52-16 in Killing. All right, well, let's go ahead and take our second timeout of the night.
But don't go anywhere, because coming up next on Big Game Friday night, we turn our attention to Class 2A, Fife on the road at Collinsville.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday night. Go Liberals!
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
We're the Crimson Guard, and you're watching Big Game Friday night on Way 31.
All right, listen to that. The Guntersville High School Marching Band bringing the noise tonight.
Yeah, always a great atmosphere at Guntersville, even when it's not our game of the week. Congratulations to the Crimson Guard on being named this week's Star Market Spirit Award winners. And, of course, good luck tomorrow at the Sand Mountain Invitational in Boaz.
All right, well, let's get back to some football. Tonight at Collinsville, the 4-1 Panthers were hosting 4-1 Fife. Fife looking for their 5th straight win. The Red Devils have only allowed 14 points in the last month, but the Panthers are looking to change that. Mason McCader drops back and heaves the pass way downfield. Gavin Lang able to haul this one in for a big gain. First down Collinsville, and the Panthers are in business. They capped that drive off with a keeper, the quarterback finishing the job himself as Collinsville takes a 6-zip lead at home. But in the end, Fife brings home the win, 53-6.
Pisgah, they're the other undefeated team in Class 2A Region 7. They were in town tonight to take on a winless Whitesburg Christian Academy team. Madison County Elementary School, the home of tonight's game, and it would be the Pisgah defense that was the real story of this one. Whitesburg on their own goal line, and it's a fumble. Pigskin on the ground, and it's a big man TD. J.J. Williams hops on top of it for the score, but that Eagles offense also a threat. Hand off to Fox Tinker, he's got all sorts of running room, turns on the Jets, and would have scored if it wasn't for Wyatt Ashley coming up with a touchdown-saving tackle. Eventually, Tinker would weasel his way in for the score, though. Pisgah, they go on the road and return with a 52-6 win over Whitesburg. They remain undefeated.
How about the Hatton Hornets? Denton Bowling Squad is off to their first 5-0 start since 2004, looking to extend the streak to 6 tonight against Tanner. And the Hornets have stung the Rattlers in each of their last 3 meetings. Tanner hoping to change that tonight. Carl Parham under pressure, so he rolls with it, taking this one himself. And hey, who needs to throw the ball when you can run it like this? The senior showing off the speed as he gets into open space and wins the foot race for a Rattler rumble. Touchdown Tanner. The Hornets looking to respond, but Tayshawn Love is swarmed for a loss and Tanner would take over. This time Parham shows off the cannon, firing it deep for Skylar Townsend, and he falls in for the score as Tanner goes on the road and hands Hatton their first loss of the season, 20-0.
Let's stay in Class 2A tonight at Falkville. Lexington was in town, just their 9th all-time meeting between the two. A win tonight could easily be the difference between making or missing the playoffs for both these teams. We'll pick this one up 8-3. Lexington quarterback Braden Allen hands it off to running back Byron Lane. He jumps over one man before colliding head-on with a Falkville defender. The next snap, Lexington looking to get the touchdown. The ball gets loose, though. That'll give Falkville a much-needed chance on offense. And the Blue Devils quarterback Landon Powers looking deep, lets one rip, but his throws could be picked off by Golden Bears Brody Gillen. He comes up with it, and it just gets worse for the Blue Devils. Powers absolutely steamrolled by linebacker Sean Starkley, who put on a defensive clinic tonight. Lexington, they win this one on the road, 31-12.
Out in Lauderdale County, the Tigers are off to another 6-0 start, looking to make it 7-0 tonight against Phil Campbell. And the LC Tigers pitched the shutout 46-zip, while Madison Academy attempted to score 60 points for the 3rd straight week, but fell just a little bit short. Still, they picked up their 6th win of the season, 56-zip over Asbury. Well, guys, it's already time for us to catch our breath one last time.
Yeah, but don't touch that dial. Coming up next on Big Game Friday night, we head to Randolph for our final game of the night. It's a rivalry showdown between Madison County and the Randolph Raiders.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday night. You're watching Big Game Friday nights. Go Jets!
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
Welcome back into Big Game Friday night. Everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. But before we get to top lights, we got one more game to get to.
Absolutely. We jump in with the Tigers trailing by a touchdown, but not for long. Lucas Putnam lets one rip, and it'll go out of sight, but Joshua Clark is all over it in the end zone for a Madison County score. But hey, the Raiders came to play, putting together another long drive as Will Mitchell dishes it to Hunter Wiggins, who flexes the stiff arm not once, but twice on this big ganger. And since it worked well on the previous play, they dial it up again. Mitchell to Wiggins, and he's wide open in the end zone for a Randolph touchdown as the Raiders get a big win at home tonight, 46-26 over the Tigers. And this weekend also brings a big weekend of college football on the gridiron.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Max. Tomorrow at 2:30, the Alabama Crimson Tide, they will be on the road at College Station to take on the Texas A&M Aggies, and a big SEC showdown while in Mobile at the Gulf Coast Challenge. The Alabama A&M Bulldogs, they'll be taking on Jackson State in a massive conference game for Connell Maynard. All right, well, before we sign off for the night, we would like to take this time to thank our radio sponsors for making tonight's show possible. And, of course, a massive thank you to everyone that helps make this show possible, from production to our EP, Sarah Jones, to our shooters on the sideline. This wouldn't be possible without them. And, of course, a massive thank you to everyone that tunes in and makes Way 31 your home for high school football.
And to finish off this week's show, we'll end things the way we do every Friday night with our big game, Friday Night Top Lights.
Good night, everybody.
Watching a special presentation of Way 31 Sports.